Hey everybody, Dr. Lisa Thompson here, coming to you from my home office outside of Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Welcome to another edition of The Doctor is in Live on this Tuesday, Election Day 2016. I'm so excited that you are here with me today because we're continuing our blog discussion and we're focusing on how to create a form on your blog so that people can leave their contact information for you to send your samples out to them. Remember, this whole past couple of live episodes on The Doctor is In, we've been talking specifically to network marketers on how to build a customer base using your blog. Now, yesterday, if you haven't watched yesterday's show, I highly recommend that you go to my blog at drlisamthompson.com/blog, and you can see my blog post. Hi, Julia. Glad to have you on the show today. And what you will learn there's a 5-part content creation process that naturally guides your readers to want to get a sample. Okay, so you want to make sure that you read that particular blog post. Now I'm going to wait for some more people to come on in, and as we do, what I want you to do is make sure you hit the notification button in the upper right hand corner of your screen. That way you will know, and Facebook will let you know when I'm going live. That way you and I can interact in real time. So how do we create this page? How do we create this sample page? It's very, very easy to do, okay? So the first thing that I would do is you're going to go to jotform.com, jotform.com, jotform.com. Now this is a service where you can create contact forms, which is really super cool. It has a free service and a premium. You only need the free. So what you do is you can create these form fields for people to fill out their information. So basically, when you're going to send a sample out, you're going to want to make sure you have their name, first and last name, their address, city, state, zip, and country, and a phone number, their best phone number. You would want to, if at all possible, get their mobile number, okay? Because then you can send them text information. And that's basically it for having that type of filling out what you need on the form, those most important fields. And you can look on YouTube for JotForm tutorials. It's very easy to use that to create a form. And you can either, there's a couple of nice things with JotForm. You can integrate it to your autoresponder, and they do it, I believe, with Aweber, GetResponse, and MailChimp for sure. So now when people fill in that request for a sample, they're automatically going to be added to your list. So you can follow up with them later. That's a real cool feature with jotform.com. And the other nice thing that JotForm can do is that you can either take the snippeted code and put it within your page of your blog, so it's just right there, or it has a link so that you can send them to, and then they can fill out their information. So it's very, very versatile to use. So now that people have opted in, and they're, and the cool thing is, guys, is when they fill out that sample form, that's a super targeted lead. Because the more information a person fills out, the more targeted they are, and especially if they leave their phone number. Now I'm going to give you some real basic tips as to how to use this when you send your sample out. Now these are things that I have done that where I wound up getting a customer base with my products. I've also seen top network marketers give me samples of products, which in turn has helped me see how to build my marketing up, and I want to share those with you too. So when you're sending out your sample, what you want to do is you want to include a handwritten note. So you'll say, hey, here's, thanks for filling out, stopping by my website and filling out and requesting a sample. Here it is. Now, a lot of times with samples, product samples, the directions may be hard to read. So you want to, take that, print out some instructions or handwrite it out for them. You'll also want to not include a product catalog right away. That can be for a follow-up. A lot of times if you give them too much information, they're not going to want to take the next step. All right. A handwritten note, and you're absolutely right, Julia. It's incredibly personal because these days, people are sending so many text messages and emails and typewritten information that it almost seems impersonal. But someone who takes the time to handwrite a note or print a note, that goes a long way, and it really builds the bond and trust with your customer or potential customer who's requested the sample. When you do that, the other great tip to do is to spend a little extra money and get a tracking link. And the minute you mail that sample off, you want to text them or send them an email telling them, hey, I just sent your sample off. Here's the tracking link. Now, the reason this is so powerful, and we're conditioned for this, is that if you've ever ordered anything off of Amazon or off of QVC, a lot of times they will let you know when your product has shipped and you have the tracking link. And this creates anticipation and excitement because, again, everything is digital, it's downloaded. Getting something in the mail is almost, it's almost a treat now. Okay. Hi, Tom. Glad to have you on the show. And when you are able to tell them to look forward, you're giving them that tracking link, they're now looking forward to getting your sample. And then when you have, when you're sending them the tracking link, you'll want to tell them, because you're going to know when it's going to be, let's say if you sent the product out today on Tuesday, you're going to get it, they're going to get it on Thursday. You can tell them when you're sending the email or text message to them, expect a phone call or a text message from me, on Friday to find out if you received the product. Okay, I'm going to follow up with you. And that way, people are going to be, again, looking forward and knowing that you're going to be contacting them. When you're sending it via text message, if you haven't sent them a text before, what you'll want to do is make sure when you're typing out the text, you're going to want to say, hey, this is Dr. Lisa. You just requested a sample of my product when you visited my website. I just sent it to you in the mail. Here's the tracking link. I'm going to contact you. You're supposed to get it on this day. I'm going to contact you on this day to find out if you had it and collect your feedback. Very, very professional. Okay, so when people see that text message and they know that, who you are and in the fact that they went to your website, again, it's all about building relationships. So that's the way that you can use a sample request form using jotform.com so people can request the sample, and then now you're putting your little personal touch on it, and this is going to help increase your sales conversions for your customers. Did you guys get value from this little training session today on the show? If you did, leave a comment and share. And if you're in network marketing, please make sure you share this with your team, because this is going to help them as well. Because I think the biggest thing that barriers for network marketers is that they really neglect to build the customer base. Is they think they have to do home parties, they have to go to trade shows, and they have to, they don't realize that their blog, their own branded, personally branded blog, can help them, okay, build a very solid and stable customer base. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to talk with you and share with you some tips on how to follow up with people who you've sent samples to. And there's some really cool techniques and tricks that I have learned from some of the top network marketers that I'm going to share with you tomorrow. So make sure you tune in. I'm going to give you a couple of housekeeping items that you may not know about. Now, if you haven't had the chance to get Ray Higdon's free training, he's doing a brand new free training on blogging, especially if you're brand new, you never created a blog before, nobody takes you as a credible expert, so it's really challenging to get people to even try samples. He's got a brand new training that's absolutely free that he is doing this week. And to get access to the training, what I want you to do is comment in the comment section below saying, I want Ray's training, or yes, and I will get that training to you. I'll send it to you via Facebook message. And also tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's going to be a special training done by Norbert Orlowitz. He's one of the top internet marketers, and he is going to be teaching his content creation strategies that helps you share your content out so that you're getting laser targeted leads, people who actually buy and will want to opt in and actually become customers. So you want to get on that training as well if you really want to build your customer base for your network marketing business. To register for this webinar tomorrow night, I want you to get out a pad of paper and a pen and write down webinar.drlisamthompson.com, webinar.drlisamthompson.com, webinar.drlisamthompson.com. This is a one-time only training. There will be no replay. So you really want to come and watch this webinar training. You're going to get a ton of value from it. Every time I listen to one of Norbert's trainings, there's always a big takeaway that I use that allows me to grow my business. Finally, one final thought. Did you go vote today if you are in the United States? If you did, awesome, great. If you haven't, please go vote. This is the greatest privilege and gift that our founding fathers here gave to us. Okay? Your vote counts. This is your way of having a say as to what is going on and making a change. Okay, so go out there and vote. There are people in other countries, especially women today in other foreign countries, that do not have the right to vote. And my feeling is that if you don't go vote because you don't like a candidate, you don't have the right to complain. It's very, very important to participate in voting. And regardless of the outcome, be graceful, okay? Be gracious to those who win and to those whose candidate didn't win, okay? God's in control on this. Everything is going, tomorrow's a new day. We're going to get through anything that happens regardless of the outcome. Tonight, I'm not watching the election results. I voted. I did my part. I'm not going to sit there and worry about the results. So tonight I'm finishing up a blog post, and then my husband and I, we're going to be watching a little James Bond. That's what we typically do when there's election night results. We're not going to sit there and watch. It's just not worth it. And I'm going to have a bunch of fun watching some James Bond. I am a big fan of Daniel Craig. He is my favorite Bond. So I don't know if we're going to be watching Skyfall or Spectre. That's up to my husband. So make sure you guys go and vote. Okay, and be a part of this democratic process. It's such a privilege and a gift. So with that said, have a great evening, you guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow, and make sure you share this training with other network marketers so that they can start building their customer base. Talk soon.